Hey, how's it going, everyone? So today I'm going to be taking a classic meatloaf but giving it an Italian spin. For anybody who's looking to up their meatloaf game, this is the way to do it. Let me show you how. Okay, let's take a look at our ingredients. I got here about 1.5 pounds of ground beef, followed by a 1/2 pound of ground pork. I also have some prosciutto. Veggie-wise, we got 4 white button mushrooms, 2 shallots, medium-sized carrot, 2 garlic cloves, some parsley, as well as some fresh rosemary. We also have, as far as seasonings go, I have a blend of all-purpose seasoning that I got for Christmas, but you can use a mixture of salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. I also have some dry oregano. We have 2 eggs. We're going with 4 slices of bread. We're going to cut the crust off. And we have here fresh mozzarella and some Pecorino Romano. Alright, let's start by prepping our veggies. We'll begin by finely dicing our shallots. Next, we're going to take our carrot, and make sure you rinse and peel beforehand, and we're just going to take a box grater and grate that up. Next, we're going to grate our mushrooms, and make sure you rinse them well beforehand. So we're just going to give them a good grate. Next, we're going to chop up our parsley. We only need about 1/2 cup worth. Next, we're going to grate up our Pecorino Romano. We only need about 1/2 cup. Finally, we're going to chop up our rosemary. We only need about 1/2 teaspoon worth. Okay, next, to a bowl, we're just going to take our bread, and as you see, I've taken off the crust, and we're just going to break that apart and throw it in a bowl. Next, we're going to add 1/2 cup of milk to our bread, and we're just going to let that soak in. Okay, we have our meat ready. We're just going to add everything to a bowl, starting with our seasonings. We're also going to go in with our bread, and make sure that after it's soaked in the milk, you rinse it out. And then just the rest of it. Alright, so all that's left to do now is to give it all a mix. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I've laid down 2 layers of cling wrap, and to that we're just going to put layers of prosciutto down. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our meat mixture and just one at a time spread that over the prosciutto. And what we're trying to do is make this into like a rectangle shape. Okay, so now we have our mozzarella, and all we're going to do is chop this up into little logs. want. Alright, so we're just going to take our mozzarella logs and just put them down the middle of our meatloaf. Alright, so all we're going to do now is carefully take our meat mixture and wrap it over the mozzarella. Just be careful and just be patient. It'll come together. And finally, we're just going to carefully wrap our prosciutto over the meat mixture. Alright, so all that's left to do is to throw this in the fridge for at least 3 hours, and then we'll go to heating it up. Alright, all that's left to do is to throw this into a preheated 350-degree oven for about an hour, and we'll come back to it. Alright, so while the meatloaf is cooking in the oven, I'm putting together a quick marinara sauce. This is the marinara sauce from when I made my chicken parm about a month or so ago. Anyway, if you want to go and check that video for how to do it, it's pretty simple. Alright, so we've taken our Italian meatloaf out of the oven after about an hour. Now, the important thing now is to let it rest. I'm going to let it sit here for about 20-25 minutes, and then we'll dig in. Alright, we've let it rest for about, 30 minutes, so let's cut into it. And that, my friends, is how you make an Italian-style meatloaf. I hope you give this recipe a try, and I will see you next time.